I'm Jean McSweeney. I'm representing the American Heart Association today, and Elise, everybody has a heart too, so you're not the only one. I want to tell you just a little bit about American Heart, and we have so many opportunities, and I have so little time to talk that I'm going to go through these pretty rapidly. But I want you to be aware that you can go to the website at aha.org and find out much more detail about the opportunities. You can see that AHA since 1949 has invested over $4 billion in research on heart and stroke. And this is all from donations. So this is a very impressive amount of money. And we continue to increase this amount of money every year. And next to NHLBI, American Heart supports more research on heart and stroke than anybody else. And we do fund all kinds of research from basic science to population science. So there's a fit for everybody with this organization. It is an association-wide. We have affiliates, and as you can see, that are designated in these areas, and there are 2 annual funding cycles. I actually went into the website last night trying to determine when the second funding cycle is going to be. Just as the VA is in a state of flux, so is American Heart. We're actually undergoing some very significant changes in our funding, and the second cycle has not been announced yet. It's going to vary by affiliates and by some of the individual awards that you can receive, so please continue to check the site. It usually is June when the second cycle is, but please check that so that you would be aware and submit it on time. This is really one of the take-home messages from here. The overall funding rate, success rate, is 19% for last year, which is very, very good when you compare it to the other funding agencies. We did have more than 5,200 applications and awarded $163 million. Now, I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about some of the different awards and then some of the different collaborations that we're looking at now. We fund everything from undergraduate, medical graduate student fellowships, fellow to faculty, mentored clinical and population research grants, scientist development grants. Here are student and trainees. This is a little bit more information about these. As I said earlier, you can get more information on the website, but you can see even the undergraduate student fellowships, the amount of the award and the duration. So they're very good stipends for students to be able to really explore research and begin to determine their interest and focus in a specific area. The predoctoral fellowships are very popular, as are the postdoctoral fellowships. We are competitive with NIH in the amount of the awards, so I highly encourage you to look at those. Fellow to faculty transition awards are also very popular. I review for that particular mechanism, and that can be a 5-year award. For independent investigator awards, there's grant and aid. That was the very first one that I received from American Heart as a young investigator. We also have added established investigator awards, mentored AHA Mentee Award, Innovative Research Award, and the AHA Merit Award. We're also the only organization that I'm aware of that we actually have awards go to the mentors, and then you have your mentees, but we actually have people apply for the mentor awards. This is what some of these award programs look like. The grant and aid, as I told you, is my first one. The amount is up to $154,000 for a 2-year duration. The Established Investigator Award, this is really to encourage mid-career people to apply for this. It can be up to $400,000 for 5 years. The Collaborative Science Award also is increasing in popularity. This is all levels of faculty and staff, $750,000 for up to 3 years. And then the Mentor-Mentee Award is also for 3 years. Now, these are some of the new initiatives that you don't necessarily think about. We've been going into a lot of collaborations with different agencies, and here is a new one, American Heart Association Tobacco Regulation and Addiction Center, and this is in cooperation with US NHLBI and also US Food and Drug Administration. This is another one I've been actively involved with for several years. These are strategically focused research networks, and I know that we have some of these in the southern region. It's 15 million. Each center must include, every center application must include basic, clinical, and population applications. We are essentially forcing collaboration across disciplines and across types of research, and we have been very successful with this. There are 2 topic areas per year that are funded. These are the ones that are already funded. The prevention network is the one that I'm on the advisory board for, and you can see it was the first one, and we're getting ready to have our next advisory board meeting to follow up on these. We meet at least twice a year. We interact with the fellows in these. Each one of these networks has at least 2 to 3 fellows that are associated with it. We watch their productivity, their manuscripts, what grants they're writing. We also look at the collaboration between the different prevention networks. So we have like 4 of those funded right now, and they are expected to interact with each other. The whole purpose of these networks is to move the science along at a much faster pace than we've been able to do previously. And you can see the other networks that are here: hypertension, disparities, heart failure, obesity, children, so a whole range of topics that affect the cardiovascular system. There's also congenital heart defect research awards. So those of you that may be pediatrics, we also have an expanding adult population now that have had congenital heart repairs, and so this will be expanding research in this area also. These are 2.5 million awards with a 2-year duration. Must be directly related to congenital heart defects. Another one is the Larry M. Bass Stroke Research Award. Remember, we also do stroke. We emphasize heart so much that sometimes people forget we fund stroke equally. And it's a training award for stroke research related to vascular neurology, stroke, and neurocritical care. And another new one is the Enduring Hearts Foundation Research Award. This is research specific to solid organ transplantation, trying to help prolong life. And again, please consider submitting an application to this one. And here is a Pediatric Cardiac Myopathy Joint Research Award. This would be with a grant and aid application, and this is for pediatric cardiomyopathy. And the myocarditis is a postdoctoral fellowship award, and this is for innovative basic clinical or translational research projects relevant to the etiology, pathophysiology, diagnosis, etc. of myocarditis. And this would be a postdoctoral fellowship application. So you can see we fund a wide range. There are other ones that are perhaps not quite as prevalent as the ones that I presented, but I tried to give you an overview of the most common ones that we see. We are expanding all the time. We have peer review. We have lay people on our peer review process boards now. We score exactly like NIH so that you get feedback. Our comments, so that it's a very good process. And as I said, remember the high percentage rate that we have for funding. I will be glad to answer any questions that you have after this.